something that I used to think was very cringe, but now I do every day is journaling and writing down my thoughts. You guys can read it from here, but what I write down on my journal is what I have planned for the next day. Also, I'm someone who overthinks and has a lot of negative thoughts. So whenever I have a negative thought, instead of keeping it in my mind, I always just write it down. I talk about what happened, what caused me to feel that way, and what was the underlying emotion. I'll talk more about it in a different video, but for now, I really want everyone to start journaling. I believe it's amazing for everyone. Even if you don't overthink or have negative thoughts like me, still try it out. It just keeps you organized and it gives your day a structure. Like, even if you're not doing anything, like me today, I still have a to-do list of, silly things like pull-ups, things like that. And if you don't have like a to-do list, right, and you wake up, you don't know what to do. So even though you don't have to be productive, you won't be able to be productive because you don't have a list, you don't know what to do, and your mind cannot keep up with things to do. Your mind is not good for that. Your mind always just wants to scroll and look for dopamine. But if you have a guide, then it makes everything so much easier. But it's actually life-changing, and I think I'm gonna do this forever. And yeah, it also just gave me a lot of clarity in terms of what's happening inside my head. I wouldn't say I had anger issues, but I'll say I'm someone who always looked at things from the worst possible point of view. Always looked for the negative, and I forgot who said this, but someone was saying that if you always look for the negative, that's all you're gonna find. So just journaling helped me and shifted my mindset into looking for the good, and now most of what I see and most of what I notice is good stuff. So yeah, it really just helps with changing your mindset. You start feeling more human, especially when you're writing down, right? Especially if you're older than 16, most of the schoolwork, everything's on a laptop. So when you're writing pencil to paper, it feels more organic. It just feels more human. It feels like, you're stepping away from your devices. And I would highly recommend you actually journal on paper and not on a laptop, because it's completely different. So yeah, try journaling. It's super easy to do. All you have to talk about is just, you don't have to copy my layout, but let's say just talk about your day, talk about whatever emotions you were feeling, and just try to get familiar with yourself, because you might think you know yourself very well, but you really don't. Most of the time, I like to think of our brain as two parts, the conscious and the unconscious. Unconscious consists of habits, underlying emotion, things like that, things that your brain knows exist, but it doesn't consciously know it exists. You don't know it exists, but it's there. And the scary part is that the unconscious part plays a part in your actions. So even though you don't know it exists, it still plays a part in your actions. If you're someone who's insecure, right, and someone talks or mentions something about it, you're gonna have an outburst because you're insecure about it. And the way you express your insecurity is through an outburst. So if you don't write it down, you're not gonna truly know. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying, but if you write it down, you're gonna know that the underlying emotion you're feeling during your outburst was insecurity. You're insecure about it. Great, now you know something new. But let's say you didn't write it down. You're just gonna be thinking, oh, there must have been some other reason why I'm having this outburst. But yeah, overall, it goes back to what I was saying. Clarity. Clarity is the best thing that you get from journaling, and I believe everyone needs clarity. Excuse me. Clarity is important for your goals, for anything, relationship. You cannot go into a relationship without being clear about yourself and knowing what you like, what you don't like, and this helps you set boundaries. I'm kind of going off track, but you get the point. Please start journaling.